Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to day 13 of albums that are 30 years old in 2022 as we look back on the great year that was 1992, a year that had all sorts of different genres colliding and charting, or maybe not charting, right? Because I think even though in this particular year you've got alternative and grunge and hip hop and dance music all really playing to the top of the charts. A lot of other stuff going on that maybe didn't make the top tens, right? Didn't get played on the radio. That's where, kind of a lot of what my focus has been this month. A lot of the favorites that I've been picking all throughout and I will continue to pick are things maybe that are a little off the beaten path, but still really good. Sure, you're going to get some blockbusters on my list, but for the most part, there's a lot of lesser known things in prog and fusion and classic rock and underground metal, that sort of thing, hard rock, all sorts of cool stuff, including this one. This, amazing how when this album first came out, got kind of ignored. Didn't even make the top 100 Billboard album chart. And it was the first album for this band under the Polydor label. They had been with Columbia for many, many years. The 17th studio album from this band, released in May of 1992, produced by Chester Thompson and Carlos Santana. Yes, I'm talking about Milagro from Santana. Very cool album. I bought this when it came out. I really liked it back then. I still really like it right now. It's a kind of a long album, a lot of tracks on here, and a lot of lengthier songs. A lot of great jamming, some mellow songs, some Latin songs, some African type rhythms and things like that. There's a lot of different flavors on this particular album. Maybe there's nothing like overly radio friendly, although I think a couple tracks kind of are. There's some gospel stuff going on this album. I think Santana at this point in time was kind of all over the place. Every album just kind of doing real different things, and it wasn't until I think we got to that that Supernatural album where Carlos said, I want to have a big hit again. And obviously that album did it for him. But here, we got Carlos on guitar and vocals, Chester Thompson on keyboard, string arrangements, backing vocals, Benny Retveld on bass. Benny has played with Carlos for many, many years. We got Walfredo Reyes Jr. on drums and percussion, Raul Recao on timbales, percussion, and vocals, Carl Perazzo, timbales, Guido Quinto, bongo vocals, Billy Johnson on drums, Tony Lindsay on vocals, Alex Largertwood on vocals, Larry Graham on vocals, Rebecca Molion on piano, Wayne Wallace on trombone, Bill Ortiz on drums, Robert Kwok on trumpet, Malicio Magduluyo on saxophone, Bad River Singers on vocal chants, John Philip Shinali string programming, and Elijah Ferragalo on backing vocals. Whew, that's a lot of people. So this, like I said, there's some pretty accessible stuff on here, but a lot of it is more, there's some jazzy stuff on here. You got some definitely deep Latin and African things going on here. There's some gospel on here. You got the big kind of, and there's some kind of like audio clip samples from, Billy Graham and Martin Luther King, because of course Billy Graham and Miles Davis both lost both of them right around this time. So Carlos dedicated this album to both of those guys. But you got, Milagro kicks things off. Got some nice guitar solo and lots of great percussion on this album. The synths by Chester are very of its time. Listening back now, sometimes I listen to some of these older bands who were doing stuff in the 90s and even in the 80s, and some of the choice of keyboard sounds are really dated to my ears anyway. And you get a lot of that on this album. But Somewhere in Heaven, it's got Alex Largertwood singing. Alex, of course, has worked with Santana on and off throughout the years. That's a really nice song, great melody on that. You got Saja Right On. There's a nice, cool, kind of funky, Latin-y, African type of piece. Good guitar solo on that song on most of this album. Your Touch is one of the rockers on the album. That's written by Carlos and Chester. I like that. It's probably my favorite song on the album. Really, really good. Great chorus on that. You got Life is for the Living. Good kind of Latin tinge pop song. I always like that. Red Prophet is a very cool jazz fusion instrumental. Some folks might have wanted more of that because usually you get at least one of those on every Santana album. Aqua Cava Care, another good track there, very Latin, Make Somebody Happy. It's more of kind of like a poppy gospel piece. Again, really nice chorus on that. What else? Free All the People of South Africa, upbeat Latin Afro rhythms. Positive message, positive feel, good melodies like that. You got Gypsy Grahonka, which is terrific. Another one of the best songs on here. Very jazz fusiony, very typical what you would hear instrumental Santana. We Don't Have to Wait, and then Adios finishes it all off, a little brief little piece that takes some snippets from John Coltrane and Gil Evans' arrangement done up by Santana. Nice, great guitar solo. And yeah, it's great guitar playing throughout this whole album. I think with Carlos, you can always expect terrific guitar playing. That's what he's known for. But I think this album has memorable songs. Again, maybe the album's a tad long. Maybe some of the tracks are a tad long. I don't really mind that myself, but I can, all these years later, I can kind of see why this album really wasn't a commercial success for him. But I think it's one that should be revisited by people maybe who ignored it at the time. So if you're like a Santana fan, but you really haven't listened to the multitude of albums that Carlos and company have released, since like the late 80s or whatnot, this is a really good one, I think, and worth checking out. Milagro by Santana is my choice today here on day 13. So list your pick below, as well as your feedback on the Milagro album down below, and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Stay tuned for album homework assignment. Simon Bray going up against Louis Nasser, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning with another album that is 30 years old in 2022, as well as the Hudson Valley Squares. It will be Monday, right? So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. See you real soon. Bye-bye.